other people look really good.
Stunning.
And with the help of AWeber's marketing platform, he's built an entire audience on his ability to turn heads. So even though Drew's just a team of one, it never really feels that way.
That's a wrap, folks. Come on out.
Drew uses AWeber. It's how teams of one get more done.
Oh, thanks, Tim. Have sweet. You're the best, Tim.
With AWeber, it's like he has a whole staff helping him grow his audience and build professional-looking content.
And send. You got it. Great job, team.
From automated email campaigns.
Oh, of course, sign up. You got it from here.
To insight-packed reports.
How are we looking on new subscribers? Is that the day we launch the new course? Nice.
AWeber gives Drew the freedom to go forth.
Hey.
And be Drew. AWeber. Time to love what you do.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Email Quick Start on this August the 12th. We're going to help you over this. Probably, Alicia, we were talking beforehand. Let's say 45-minute workshop. We're trying to be a little bit more efficient with your time, in our time, in communicating with you, which I'm not doing a very good job of already as I ramble. So we're going to take about 45 minutes. We're going to go from nothing, which is, if that's where you are, that's great. That's not a problem, to ready to send that first email, ready to hit that send button. And we're going to basically cover like the minimum parts of that email ecosystem or funnel or mechanism that you need to be able to begin collecting email addresses and automatically sending them. And to walk us through that is none other than our principal product designer, Alicia.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here to talk through what Jesse just introduced. I'm going to be doing this as a live workshop, all focused around my Zumba business as the demo example here, but I'm going to show you the core things you need to set up so that you can be ready to send. With that,
I was going to say, I'm excited because as we jump in here, this is becoming simpler and simpler every time we do a workshop, because the AI sign-up form builder was already rolled out to all customers, where you can conversationally build high converting sign-up forms that have been tested and proven to outperform standard forms. The AI landing page builder is available to most customers right now, and we expect to be available to all customers by next week. And there's more coming. It's almost funny. We were talking before we got jumped on here. There's kind of like traditional builder parts. So we're like, can't wait to not do it.
I have to drag and drop my logo.
Yeah. So part of the reason, we're hopefully going to be a little bit more efficient on time is because this really is getting simpler. And I hope that's conveyed, but we still want to take the time to really walk you through it. This is meant to be a workshop. So we will be recording this. It will become available on demand, where you can watch it at your own pace as often as you want after the workshop's over. But you can also open up your AWeber account and follow along with us if you want to. So, Alicia, why don't we jump in and Oh, and please ask questions as we go. It makes it better. We want to answer your actual questions, not what we think you might be wondering. So please drop them in the chat and we'll answer as we go.
Definitely ask questions as you go. If you are following along in AWeber, use this as an opportunity to get something done today. And to kick us off, I am going to get the boring stuff out of the way, but there are a couple of things that
I think I already handled the boring stuff.
Hey, but I'm going to jump into the list settings, which is where you kind of set up the base of your list, what your business name is, etc. But the things I'm going to highlight in here are your from name and address here. As you can see, I'm sending from an address that is alicia@zumbalicia.com. Not at gmail.com or Yahoo or Hotmail. It is a custom domain email address. So whether you have a website or not, you are highly encouraged and will be required to use a custom domain if you have over a certain amount of subscribers. So usually fairly cheap to obtain. If you already have a website, your website provider probably offers this to you. If not, you can get them for a couple bucks a month or even cheaper.
You can usually register most domains around like 12, 14 bucks a year.
Yeah.
And then you can add like Google Workspace email or something like that for something like $6 a month. Don't quote me on those exact prices, but things are pretty cost effective.
Yeah.
And I just want to call out too, like these are requirements from the mailbox providers, like the Yahoos, Hotmails, Gmails. They're trying to take steps over the last few years to really ensure that people are sending permission-based email, and that people are sending the emails are actually coming from who they claim to be from. So people are not spoofing email addresses and sending kind of phishing attempts and things like that. So these things have to be in place for those providers to accept your mail basically and put them in their in your recipients' inboxes. It's not hard to set up. Alicia's going to kind of quickly show some of those list settings, but I just want to say, like, reach out to our customer solutions team, help@aweber.com, if you're stuck on any of this. It is probably the most like technical piece of it, but I don't want you to think that it's like difficult. It's not.
Right.
But
just something you need. It's just like unfortunately another a to-do list item. But
like don't sit there stuck,
yeah,
because our team can help unlock you.
For
real quick, Stacy did already have a question. Do I need a paid account to do what you're doing today? No. You could be doing this on a free account. Free accounts have certain limitations, like list size, number of landing pages, a few other things. But you can absolutely do everything that we're going to set up today on a free account.
Yes, 100%. So let's move on from name and email address. So if it's anything else you have questions about, please drop them in. But go ahead and get that purchase domain if you don't have one. If you already have one, you're already one step ahead of the game. So quickly, I will touch on a confirmation message, which is also something that is really great for deliverability and ensuring that you get into the inbox. In short, this is an automated message that gets sent to anybody who joins your list, no matter how they are added, to confirm with them that they do in fact want to join your list. They often called double opt-in, confirm opt-in. I'm blanking on some of the other industry terms. But essentially, it's just like a safety net to make sure and ensure that the leads that are coming onto your list are quality leads and truly want to join your list, and weren't just kind of doing it in passing.
Yeah. We get the question a lot, like if I use double opt-in, because it's not necessarily a requirement, aren't I going to have like fewer signups? And the answer is yes, because some people won't follow through on that confirmation because they're low intent. But that's okay. Like a more engaged, higher intent, smaller list is going to be more profitable and effective for your business than some vanity number of subscribers. I was actually just on a call with an AWeber customer and a really established digital marketer. And she was talking about literally trying to wean her list down because it just wasn't engaged. And she wanted to get down to like that core high intent, high engaged list and just send to that. 200 super engaged subscribers are going to be way more valuable than 10,000 unengaged, uninterested subscribers. So, and like you said, it's just a really good way of signaling to those mailbox providers, yes, this is good email that they wanted and they want in their inbox.
So as mentioned, this is optional, but highly encouraged for a stronger, more engaged subscriber list. So you want to spend a minute here just to make sure that that message is custom to encourage people to follow through and to click that button. And with that, that's all we are going to touch on list settings. And we can jump into the next thing that I encourage for getting started with email. I'm going to hop back to the dashboard because I think this is one of those, I actually have the done for you dashboard up here today. So I thought it would be a good time to just say in the beginning, if at any time any of this feels like overwhelming or like way too much, we do have a done for you service that will, a team member on our team will build all of this stuff for you that we're doing today, including setting up those confirmation messages and list settings. And
That's the really fun, complicated part. Not complicated, technical. I use the wrong word. And we'll share a little bit more about that at the end of the session. We got a message from Chris, our chief product officer, about that. But I don't want to like lose that point early on here. The whole point of these workshops is try to help you get through like the friction that exists in getting set up. But if you're still just kind of feeling like, yeah, that's nice, that's cool, take advantage of what Elise is talking about, the done for you service at aweber.com/start. You can see it in that little logo bug up in the corner. If you go there, you can learn more about it. But everything that Alicia is covering today is done for you in 7 days for just $79. Because you registered for this event, we're actually going to have a $1 done for you offer. And I'm going to share that code with you by email with the recording of this event a little bit later today. So keep an eye on your inbox if you want to learn more about that service and take advantage of that offer.
Yes. So keep that in mind as we're going through. I'm going to hop into messages right now, because the thing you need in getting started with email marketing is a message template, right? Something that feels professional and feels like your brand, something you feel comfortable sending to your audience. So let's create one. I'm going to talk about the core basics here. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a message. Inside AWeber, we have a ton of templates to choose from. Over here on the right-hand side, if I click templates, you'll see that there are hundreds that you can choose from. Some that have different layouts, cool background colors, lots of content. I'm here to say right now that you do not need to choose one of these templates to get started, and I encourage you not to, especially if you don't have images and stuff ready to go right now. A lot of people in our universe send plain messages like this, and they actually get really great engagement. So you don't need to have images and a really well-designed template to get started. You can elevate to that later, once you've got things running, spend some time and make a more fancy template later, but you don't need that to get started. So in today's setup, I'm going to choose the default template here and apply it and show you the core things that I think you should touch on to just make it feel a little bit more like you. And that first thing is your theme settings. Clicking over here on the right-hand side, you can quickly adjust all the colors that are going to be used throughout your template in one spot, and then have that set to continue through your template. So for example, I can quickly change my button colors to purple. And now anytime I use a button, it's going to be purple. So if I ever want to change my button colors, I can do that right here in the theme. Oh, I didn't do it in the theme settings, of course. But if I reapply it, change it in my theme settings here, it'll update my button colors throughout the template. So really easy way to just coordinate your colors and your styles. You can update your text link colors to match your buttons if you want to. A couple of little nice things to just add a personal touch. One other cool thing here is the headings and paragraph section, where you can try on and feel out some different looks and styles just at a quick glance. So I'm just kind of clicking through to see what my messages might look like with different font styles. Maybe you want them to just be the default, and that's totally fine. But this is a quick way to add a little bit of brand or personality to your.
Yeah, like a little fidelity to it. Like make it look like it had some intent and it's professional.
Yeah, and sometimes and if your brand typically uses like a sans serif font or something, it can help connect the two together.
Yeah, and you don't have to choose these pairings. There's a bunch of nice complementary pairings, but you can modify and choose, whatever heading font you want that's available in here, and whatever paragraph font.
So with that is kind of theme settings, right? Set your colors, put your brand colors in there, get a nice feel. Another thing, nice.
It does not need to be some crazy visual design. Like it can be. Maybe you're selling an e-commerce or a physical product, and you want it to be more visual. Fine. But for most of us, it just needs to look professional. It does not need to be some wild design.
And it's a practice that a lot of people follow as well. The other thing I want to touch on with the template, and something that I think is key to having a template, and like the reason for a template is so that you don't have to do the same thing over and over again every time you go to write a message. So with that, I recommend you spend a moment making a signature, or like a footer, something that is just at the bottom of every message that you don't have to update every time. So in this example, I'm just going to delete that one and just use some text here. So you can drag in different elements in here. We have a little, actually, I don't think you see my emoji thing popping up here. Oh, you do? Oh, okay. I was looking at the screen. I'm like, where'd it go? I feel like it's not searching what I wanted. Where is it? No.
Oh, I think it's your signature. There it is. Oh, wait, I just saw it.
This is my signature emoji there.
Yeah, your signature sign off.
So I'm just gonna like add my name in here. A call out. Sometimes I like to add like a PS or something in here that kind of like links out to something that I offer all the time. But I can say like your favorite Zumba instructor.
It's also just like important to think about your template as like containing all of the elements that you may want to include in an email. So like, you may not always include your social links at the bottom of your email, but they should be in your template, because it's annoying to have to add time and time again. As
cue the social elements. Yep.
Include more is better than less in your template. And you'll see in a minute, and Alicia will demonstrate, it's because when you go to actually use that template and send an email, you can easily remove anything you want. Single click, delete, delete, delete. But adding it is time intensive. So, even if you're like, I don't always want that, include the elements. Think of it as like you're kind of like you're maxed out. Everything that I might ever include is included.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I put in the wrong one here. But the cool thing is you can paste in different links here too. So I'm just going to do like youtube.zoombleash.com. I think hopefully this is actually my thread. Yep. And it's going to just add the YouTube logo for me, which is super awesome. I don't have to go find an icon or anything like that. But yeah, you can customize them a little bit if you want them to look different, or maybe add them to like a color backsplash or something. But it's a bit tedious to have to do this every single time. So like I said, focus on what you want in your signature. Maybe you want to link to your website, or link to like a Calendly booking link or something like that. Something that you just always want in there. And with that, those are the key elements that I recommend for a template to get started. Simple is better, you don't want to overdo it and overthink it. The second you choose a template with 4 images, you have to now find 4 images to fill that. So add the images later. Maybe you want to add a profile picture at the bottom, or even a logo, which is a nice add too. I'm going to drag a logo element in here as well. Add that to my signature.
And as you go, if you have like distinctly different types of emails that you send and you want different, you can create multiple templates that you use for different things. But like, to get started, just make sure you have one that looks polished and professional like this. It does not need to be several different styles just to get going. Like, just start here, but you can always do that. You can always expand,
of course,
on the number of templates you use.
Yeah. And once you're ready and you are feeling good with your template, and there are settings, you have the option next to the template button to save as a template. So that will actually give you a chance to name it. And then you can click save. And then every time you go to create a message, this template will show up. And you can always swap it to something different if you want. I'll show you how to load a template. So I'm going to click that templates button again. And at the top right, there's my templates where you can load templates that you've previously created. I'm going to apply that in. And here's just one I put together before the demo. So has, simple text. I have my signature in here. Yep, there's my emoji, same call off. I added a little section here with a promo button that, like Jesse mentioned, if I don't want it in this email, I can just delete it out. And my social links down at the bottom. So each week when you go in to write a message, you can just go into this section here and just write your content. And we can talk later about how we have tools that can help you write content as well if you're feeling stuck there. We'll touch on that later. But that is your email template. So item 1, aside from your list settings, you have your template ready. Let's keep moving on. So we have a message template. So you're now ready to send a message. Now, when people first subscribe to your list, one of the key things that you need is a welcome message, right? So a message that automatically sends when somebody joins your list. And
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
that's okay. And
I was going to ask you, like, what's the point of a welcome message? I was going to softball.
Yeah. Let's jump over into automations where you create workflows where we can create one. But the importance of a welcome message is because it is the moment somebody has given you their email address. It's their moment of highest intent. So you want to make sure that you're communicating with them and taking advantage of that, building that relationship from the moment they gave you that email.
Yeah, it has implications for like your business success, right? Like you're beginning to build a relationship with these people who are just showing that they're interested in you. They've never been more interested in you to date.
Exactly.
But it also has technical implications. We talked about deliverability and making sure that your emails get to people's inboxes. When you immediately begin to engage with them, and Alicia will show you in a moment, like the elements of a good welcome email, but you're beginning to build that relationship that the mailbox providers are watching as well. Are they opening your emails? Are they responding to them? Are they replying to you? Are they clicking things in those emails? Those are all positive signals for the mailbox providers that, yes, this is good email that they wanted, and we should continue to put this in the inbox. And so it serves a really important function from that technical perspective, but also just on a human level. Like you're beginning to build relationship with a hopefully soon to be customer or client.
Yeah. And it's really simple to put it together. And to show you, I'm going to just start from scratch instead of using the template, just to kind of give you that idea of how simple.
Yeah. There are workflow templates to make these things even simpler, but this is, I love that you like go from scratch because it really doesn't complicate
It's so simple. What the hardest part is writing the content, honestly, but we can even bridge that gap too. So when you first come in, you choose a starter. In AWeber, there are 2 ways that you can trigger a workflow. That is when all new subscribers join the list or when a subscriber gets a specific tag. Tags can be added in a number of ways. We're not going to get into that today. Today, we're going to be talking about a welcome email that welcomes all of your subscribers. So I'm going to just choose that one. And now my starter's done. I'm going to add a step, which is a message. And then I'm going to choose a draft, or you can write a draft if you don't have one already. Let me see if I even have one. That looks like a default one. Oh, I do have one here with no subject line. So I'll use that one just to kind of talk through the core pieces of it. Definitely need a subject line. So let's go ahead and click to edit that message. And the cool thing is we do have a subject line generator, so it can help you get suggestions for subject lines. And as you can see, my welcome message, it's suggesting your first Zumba class is on us because it's teasing the fact that I'm offering something of value in my message. So I'm going to land with that one. You can do the same for preview text as well. I'll use that one.
Yeah, and you don't have to use those generators, but they do a really nice job of writing relevant, engaging, and they follow best practices too. So like the types of subject lines that get attention, but also like not maxing out characters where it's not going to show up well on certain devices and other things that you don't necessarily want to keep track of.
Yeah, or even just to give you a first draft of ideas, and you can like click and modify it however you want. So now that I have a subject line, a couple of things I encourage in a welcome message. One is to like introduce yourself or your business or the newsletter cadence of which you'll be communicating with them. So it's like a nice intro. Hi, this is our business. This is me. Here's what to expect from me. So in my example here, every week, this is what, they'll get something like this in their inbox. And then I highly encourage that you offer something surprise, right? And you can use this offer as a lead magnet, which we'll talk about in the next step. In my example, I am offering their first virtual class free. I have a link to that, to the link for them to go purchase that class right here in my welcome message. But you don't have to offer a free class. You could offer your best advice, or the top 5 things you tell every client. You could offer a free consultation, book a free consultation with me, offer a free estimate. If you're, have that as your business model, you can offer a 25% off discount or a coupon code or something like that. But it's always nice to give something in that beginning of a relationship, because it makes the other person feel good, right?
And because frankly, and we're going to see this when we get to the landing page, like sign up for my newsletter there's no incentive in that.
Right.
That's a directive. That's a job for them to do.
Why should I sign up?
What's in it for me? I'm giving you my personal email address, my personal information, and you're giving me nothing. Like I'm trusting the value that's going to be in there. Look, for some people, if you're some celebrity or influencer and you have the clout, that may be enough for some people, but for most of us, we need to offer some kind of incentive.
And the incentive could even be your last issue, right? Like the last newsletter you sent.
Sure.
Sign up today and I'll give you last week's edition. Doesn't have to be a big product that you have to go make up right now. Like,
Alicia and I made this challenge before. There's nobody that can say that they have no free value to offer. So if you're sitting there going, I don't know what I would offer, drop what you do, what your product service offering is in the chat, because I guarantee you there's some form of free incentive that you can provide as a lead magnet or a sign up offer. Stacey asked, is this where I'd put my lead magnet? We're going to get to the landing page where you promote it in a minute, but yes, this is one of the ways that you could deliver that lead magnet. So, Alicia will be using the first class as that free offer on her sign up page in a moment. And then when they do sign up, this is that email, that workflow that automatically gets delivered morning, day, and night while you do other more important things, with that free offer included or a link to it.
Yep. And I just added another button in here to show how you could add a button. I even have a section down here that's like a little more colorful that just calls out that delivery even better. But let's jump into lead magnets, because our landing pages, I should say, sign up forms, the things that get people into your list.
Yeah. You've configured your list. You have a nice on-brand template. You now have a workflow that is going to be triggered when people join your list. As you see there, the starter subscriber joins the list, then they get this message. No wait in between, so it's near immediate. But yeah, let's show how we actually grow that list.
Right? And this is the introduction to the fun part. So publish when you're ready. Make sure it's published so that way the subscribers will be added. But as we mentioned, I will be using my a free class as the value-driven purpose of my landing page, so that way I can encourage people to sign up. So I am in the new AI landing pages builder. If you're in AWeber and don't see this yet, you can ask us and we can share that with you. If you do have access, awesome. I hope you've been creating pages already. My cat has joined the meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and click to create. And like the sign up form builder, if you've used it, you'll have this kind of opening screen that will help you spark some ideas. There's this suggestions button here, which I will shuffle through to show you some different ideas of what you can make a page for. And the cool thing is you can edit all of this. So these are inline edits. So my product launch, what's it about? You can give it a name that promises to deliver a free resource. You can customize to come up with different ideas. It's a really great way to kind of like shuffle through some ideas and choose one to get started.
Yeah, if you're not sure what you want it to do or where to start, it's a great aid.
Exactly. Right? And just to see what it can do and spark curiosity and inspire you to maybe do the thing that it's offering. Because sometimes it's just helpful, like, oh, I hadn't thought of something like that.
Right.
But I do know what I want to do. So I'm going to click to write my own and just type in that I want to create a page that promotes my free virtual Zumba class that's 25 minutes. Here's my website. I like to provide links. I also like to provide screenshots sometimes to get things closer to my brand, which, future releases of this will do that automatically. But for now, it is helpful to give it some context or something reference.
I'll usually do the URL and a screenshot just in case, you know what I mean? And it's probably overkill. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to actually I'm taking a screenshot. I didn't prep a screenshot, but I'm just doing a screenshot of my home screen just to give some colors. All right, and I'm going to just upload that really quickly. All right, so now you can see I have a file attached here. It's just showing some colors in there, so it'll get something more closely to what I want. And I'm going to hit go. So I just said, promotes my free virtual Zumba class. That's 25 minutes with my website.
Pretty simple prompt. You could get really complex if you wanted to. You could write a really simple prompt, but like, I think what's cool is what we're going to see it produce. Like that was from one sentence.
And I've seen, I know that there are people using the builder already that have been pasting in prompts that maybe they built in another app like Claude or something to help them kind of map out the content or just general ideas. So it's really, the write my own section is great if you already have ideas or like an outline or even another page that you'd want to recreate. But that opening Mad Lib styled fill in the blanks thing is really helpful if you're kind of stuck. Now this will take a minute to go through, and as you can see, you can kind of see it's working through actually generating some images right now. Awesome image generator, by the way, and you can actually do really cool things with image generation, like add my logo to a t-shirt or take my product image and put it on a better background. I was working with a Done For You account previously, and we were able to like make really awesome images of a slingshot. It was just like cool.
I was telling this story yesterday to you on the shift, but I'm a big fan of using, I have been for a while, like Lovable's site builder, which is another conversational AI tool to build websites and landing pages and stuff. And I did this one for a Dutch soccer news because I'm a big fan of Dutch soccer, and I thought I loved the design. And then I used this page builder to create like a newsletter sign up page for it, and I didn't give it like brand reference. I think I just forgot to, and I didn't give a URL or a screenshot or anything, and it came up with such a better design and content and everything that I then like screenshotted that and took it back to Lovable and was like, redesign the site to look like this. You know what I mean? Like it just like knocked it out of the park. It was so much better.
I feel like I've been like continuously impressed with the results that come out. Sometimes it's off though, like, and that's okay. Especially when you're starting off with like one sentence and maybe like you said, you didn't give brand context. Like sometimes it'll be off, but it's so worth the extra like follow-up or two that will make it even better, right? Get your tone in there or something. I was going to open up, I don't know how long this is going to take, so I didn't know if
I kind of go both ways sometimes too, where like sometimes I will like have Claude help me develop a really extensive prompt and then I'll give it to it. So it's like the output's going to be really close to what I wanted really fast in a single iteration. But sometimes I like starting from like one sentence because there are questions it has or decisions it has to make that I have not provided guidance on. And so it'll make an informed decision. It's trained on best practices and design and everything. And sometimes like, I'm so glad that I didn't dictate because it actually does so much better than what I was thinking, you know? And so sometimes it's kind of fun to see how it fills the gaps in its knowledge. I love it. She looks like a happy Zumba class member.
Yeah, and these are like custom generated images. You'll see the page build out as it's going, so you can see here that the chat's still
it's not
moving.
finished yet.
Oh,
Now it's ready.
Oh, there we go. My free class page is ready. Let me zoom out a little bit because I feel like well, the funny thing here is it's saying that this lady is Zumba or is Alicia, but clearly I am here. So and I won't do what I did to myself a couple weeks ago where
you gave it your image in it. I thought we were gonna do it again. No,
we can if I get enough votes in the comments.
We got a question from Jim, and I don't know if you can answer this. Is it possible to put a countdown timer in the email?
In the email, no. But on a landing page and sign up form, yes. You'd be able to like
and I think I've seen some like third party like code generators where you can if you're building your email with HTML, you can include a countdown timer. It's not like simple to do.
Yeah, or like a GIF that could mimic a timer.
Yeah.
Would be an alternative solution to that.
But it wouldn't necessarily be dynamic then. The landing page, I mean, heck, let's add one. It's as simple as a prompt, right?
Yeah. Landing page it will. We can add one too. Let's say claim or add a countdown timer in the form section to encourage people to get their class. I didn't even need to say all that. I'm going to say 5 minutes.
And I will say to Jim's original question too, and Dave confirmed what we were saying. There are third-party timer embeds for email, but this builder experience that exists for the sign-up forms for your website, that Alicia's demonstrating for landing pages, and essentially you can build like web apps. That builder experience, conversational AI builder experience, is eventually coming to email as well. And I would venture a guess that it would be as simple as a prompt description to add a timer to your emails that way. So that will become much more simple and native to AWeber without the requirement of a third-party embed.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Our timer is getting up there. And the cool thing about this is it all fits like a really nice design theme. I know I always get shade because my stuff always comes out purple, but my brand is purple. So
purple is like the giveaway AI loves.
Like, I'm sorry I chose purple.
Gradient, right? But this is actually on brand. This is actually accurate, right?
And if you don't like it, you can update it. Like, make it a white background instead of a full bleed color. It has really cool elements of like a great landing page. It's super simple to publish. I can just publish as is right now, or sit here and spend time tweaking the content. Maybe I want icons instead of emojis. Something I can just ask for. It'll take a moment to work through that. And while it does, I do want to just show the sign-up form builder. So landing pages are I'm going to open up a new tab here. Landing pages are a great way to capture a focused audience, right? So you have a certain reason for this landing page, and that is for me to promote my 25-minute virtual Zumba class, right? That's my lead magnet. That's the one thing I want people to do because I know that's going to get them on my list. So this landing page here does that. It doesn't distract them with my blog. It doesn't have links to other pages. It's just like one call to action. And these are great ways to grow your list and have free offers and deliver that kind of lead magnet experience. Sign-up forms are something you add to an existing website. As you can see, we have that same Madlib set up here. We also have some examples in here of different forms you can create. Gallery for landing pages is coming soon. But different ways you can use landing pages. And these are things you add to your website. I'm going to do the Write My Own again because I took a screenshot of that landing page. And I'm going to say create a pop-up form matching the screenshot. Show after 3 seconds. A cool thing we learned, and you can even ask, is to like an exit intent pop-up form. We did that I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. But essentially it did that. Instead of saying show after 3 seconds, it actually showed when my mouse went away from the website, which was so cool. So while that is running over here, let's go check on my icons. There we go. I've got some nice icons in there instead of my emojis, which just to me personally adds a little bit more professional there. Definitely need to update the images to be me, but I can just say remove the images for now, because my image is not going to look as nicely as this. I don't have that little decal on my wall or things like that, but I could take a portrait of myself and say, hey, add this background to me. I'm going to have to do that. Maybe I'll make that a challenge for the next demo.
There you go. We had a question, maybe you can answer while this is building. What's included in the dollar offer for email marketing setup? Are a certain number of automations? They're so very confusing.
Yes. So the done for you will include your list setup. So it'll set up your list descriptions that help you set up the custom domain if you need help with that, the confirmation message. It will create you a brand template, an email template that you will use in your messages. It'll create you one workflow, this welcome workflow with 2 messages inside. So in today's example, we showed 1 message. You get an additional message in done for you. You also get a landing page with a matching thank you page, and a sign up form that you can add to your site. So everything that we had basically covered here is what is included in done for you. And with that, you get 30 days of revisions. So after your 7 days, first you fill out your survey, which I don't think we talked about too much here. But on the dashboard, you will have a survey that you fill out that let our team know more about your business, and things like that. Once you fill out that survey, your content will be delivered to you within 7 days. Then you can schedule some time to meet with our team where they talk you through everything we created, and you can give feedback like, I really don't like this, or I want the positioning to be a little bit more about this. You have 30 days to work through that with a team member, and they will work through that until you're, happy with the results and ready to start sending an email. So a lot covered for that $1 setup fee.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely worth checking out, aweber.com/start. Plus, like if you're still beyond that, if you're still feeling stuck with workflows or anything else, our customer solutions team is available by phone, chat, and email if you go to aweber.com. So please don't leave feeling stuck. Like there's always another option. You can always reach out to them for one-to-one help.
Yeah. And the cool thing is now our Done For You service does include the use of these cool tools. So your pages will look just as awesome as these examples right here. I'm going to kind of just let's publish this real quick and get it on my site to show you kind of like the full picture here. Putting my website in there, we're publishing, and I'm going to hop over to my website here and refresh. And then after.
Yeah, and we had a follow-up question. So the benefits to continue. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Such an easy install. Are there benefits to continue at the $30 a month after they set it up? There are limitations on the free account. So you won't be able to have more than one landing page. You won't be able to have more than a certain number of workflows, I believe. You can only have up to 500 subscribers. So there are certain limitations on the free account that you would benefit having a plus plan in place of it. But again, the intent with them getting this set up is that you're actually actively sending and seeing the value and getting the return from email. And frankly, just far outweighs that investment. I wanted to call out too, we did a test with these pop-up forms versus a traditional embedded form on the Shift AI Show's website. And we actually saw a 78% increase in signups for that pop-up form that was built by the sign-up form generator, because it looked better, it communicated better, it grabbed attention and like kind of it had like a pattern interrupt where it pops up and grabs attention. So it's not just that these like look better, but they're actually performing better
Yeah.
on real websites as well.
Yeah, and I've just been sitting here kind of adding a couple of tweaks to my things. I published my form in the background so you can see how that appears over a website. I just refreshed. So if you wait 1-2 seconds, here it is. When people sign up, they're going to get that welcome message. And I'm going to turn this off right now because I am in my demo account and I always forget to turn them off. Turn that off for now. And you can easily turn things on and off, right? So toggle it on, toggle it off. It will take a one-time setup code to get that working, but super easy to get a form onto your site. And that is kind of like your engine, right? So you have your landing page, which I was actually just making a change. So let me publish those changes. I wanted to get rid of the images for now. Here, so I have my form over here with my countdown timer. I have some reasons why people should join up, nice clear calls to action, links me back up to the form from the bottom, pop-up sign up form on my website to get people in. I've got my welcome automation to send a message when somebody signs up. And then I have my email template so I can stay engaged with them and send a weekly newsletter, monthly newsletter, bi-weekly newsletter, whatever it is that works with the cadence that you want to follow. But stay in touch with your audience, you know, in their inbox.
I love it. I mean, that's kind of it, right? We could obviously like dig deeper into these. If you go to aweber.com/events, and I'll drop that in the chat right now, where you've probably been, and it's likely where you signed up for this event. But we do go we have a bunch of on-demand events there and upcoming events where we do deeper dives into specific topics. Like we have one where we spend an hour workshop just talking landing pages and like what makes a good landing page. That's a funny one because with the builder, it's a lot faster now. And it follows the best practices that we teach in that.
And the cool thing about that though is during those demos, we're now building like 5 landing pages during that demo.
Yeah, you get to teach so
one.
much more. Yeah. You're not wrong. Yeah, so highly recommend checking out some of those events, signing up for some upcoming events if you want to learn more about specific topics. But this is really like what you need to be ready to start sending, like collecting email addresses with that incentivized offer, and sending and growing and nurturing your audience. The idea is that it's easier to grow an audience by asking for email than asking for a purchase, and incentivizing that email sign up and then nurturing them. We have events on how to nurture your audience properly. We have workshops, but nurturing them towards a paying customer or client. And it really is effective. Like I was saying to Alicia earlier, I was just on a call with a really good marketer and longtime AWeber customer, and she was just talking like this. Email is it's not a strategy. It's a piece of every step of your marketing funnel. It really it moves the people through the funnel. And it's so critical to it. So please check out aweber.com/events if you want to learn more about any of those topics. All right. Well, so we did come up a little short, like we promised, not as short as we thought we would.
Hey, we're doing better.
You know what? We're doing better. I hope that this was valuable. We don't take lightly that you spent 50 minutes of your time with us today, and I hope that you got what you needed out of it. If you didn't and you still have questions, please go to aweber.com, reach out to our customer solutions team by phone, chat, or email. They are incredible experts, and they are available to answer any questions you have, whether you're a customer or not. They're there to help answer what you need answered before you decide what your next steps are. If you would rather just have it set up for you, check out that done for you service. You'll in your email later today, you're going to get $1 offer for that done for you service. Take advantage of that. Like Dave said, it's a no-brainer. It's really an incredible service. You take roughly 7 minutes to answer questions about your business, and then you get everything that we just talked about set up for you in 7 days or less. You get the option of hopping on a call with the team member that delivers it to you to walk through it, and you have 30 days of unlimited edits. And on top of that, you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So If you're not happy, you can get your dollar back.
Yeah.
But seriously valuable service there. And as we head out in a moment, Chris is going to have about a minute video where it talks a little bit more about that in detail. Disclaimer, Chris is going to mention that it's a $79 setup fee. But again, you'll be getting that discount code for just $1 a little bit later today. Alicia, did we miss anything?
I think I could talk about this forever, but I think we hit the core basics. Again, simple is better. Don't get overwhelmed by fancy templates and things that you need for email. Landing pages are easier than ever to create. So now's the time to get started and get unblocked.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
What if you could have a complete email marketing system that's ready to make you money in just 7 days? Most small businesses know that email marketing works, but they get stuck on the setup, the templates, the landing pages, the sign-up forms, the automated sequences. It can be overwhelming. And here's the thing, you shouldn't have to become a tech expert just to grow your business. That's exactly why we created AWeber Done For You. You just answer a survey about your business and our team builds everything for you. Professional emails with your branding, landing pages that convert, automated welcome workflows, all designed to capture leads and grow sales. In 1 week, you go from having nothing to having a complete system ready to make you money, all done for you. You get unlimited edits for 30 days, and if you're not completely satisfied, we'll refund every penny. And best of all, AWeber Done For You is just $79 for a limited time, so you can have what agencies charge thousands for. Stop waiting and start growing today.